Who could resist watching a relaxing wilderness build before bed? It's a stress-relieving, fun episode to unwind with. It's a blessing for night owls with insomnia. After watching, you'll be able to drift into dreams peacefully. Quickly grab your phone with about 70% battery and find the most comfortable position to lie down. Let's watch this relaxing process together. When Drew was seen again, he had already bought some winter supplies from home, the equipment he needed. He noticed that snow had gathered in the door cracks, which gave Drew a bad premonition. The first thing when opening the door was to quickly check the interior. Luckily, aside from some frost on the ceiling, everything else seemed normal. However, every visible surface was covered with frost, showing the cabin's insulation wasn't perfect. This left Drew in a bit of a dilemma. Fortunately, he had bought a brand new fireplace this time, although it cost him a fair bit. Its high efficiency kept the cabin warm constantly, providing a continuous source of heat indoors. Drew also took 4 logs to make the fireplace taller, allowing the heat to radiate fully. Next, he needed to stack dry firewood and test the new fireplace's burning effect. Drew didn't move slowly. Before long, he had stacked a sled full of firewood. Some of it was neatly arranged in a corner inside the cabin, and he took some to ignite the warming fireplace. As the fire blazed inside the fireplace, the snow instantly melted into small droplets. While the cabin was getting warm, Drew went to a lake not far from home. The lake surface was covered with a thick layer of ice. He had to chop several times with an axe before breaking through it. Drew roughly measured with his fingers, estimating it to be at least 10 centimeters thick. If he had free time later, he could develop his hobby for ice fishing. But for now, the priority was to finish the remaining work. He planned to make a dining table for the cabin first, so that eating later would be more convenient. To avoid making the interior feel crowded, he didn't make the table too large. He intended to place it at the head of the bed, but before that, Drew had to fill the wall gaps with insulation cotton. Without these measures, the cold temperatures would cause frost to form inside the cabin. Even if the fireplace produced plenty of heat, it wouldn't help. After Drew finished this task, he could then nail the tabletop to the wall. And just like that, a simple dining table was ready. The height was also very comfortable. After finishing that, Drew didn't stop. To maximize the use of indoor space, he planned to install several shelves on the walls. He split the archboards in half. Then he used some wooden sticks to make wooden pegs. Now he just needed a hole punch to drill holes into the wall and then drive the pegs in. To make the shelves more secure, he used charcoal from the fireplace as a marker. He marked the spots for the pegs. Then he could use an axe to carve grooves into the boards, creating slots so the shelves had solid support. Even without nails, the shelves would stay sturdy. After placing all the pots and pans, he neatly stored the firewood. Now the entire interior immediately looked pleasing to the eye. Though the space wasn't large, it felt warm and cozy inside. After a full day of work, he could finally heat the pan and oil and start cooking tonight's dinner. While waiting, Drew picked a small piece of scrap wood, planning to make a spatula. This would make stir-frying much easier. He fried the potatoes until lightly golden on both sides, then added the onions to sauté for fragrance. Finally, he added some mushrooms. At this moment, the aroma filled the entire small cabin. Drew's face was full of happiness. Half an hour later, Drew could finally enjoy his meal in the cabin that he had built with his own hands. After eating his fill, his body felt completely comfortable at that moment. After adding the last batch of firewood, Drew could no longer resist sleep. He gradually drifted off. The next day, after waking up, the sky outside was gray. He collected some clean snow from the ground and melted it on the fireplace. He added some white sugar to soften the taste, brewing himself a steaming cup of coffee. Sitting outside the cabin door, it seemed as if he considered the entire forest his own backyard.